Imagine a world in which every single person on the planet is given free access to the sum of all human knowledge, and that's what we're doing. The ideal encyclopedia should be radical. It should stop being safe.
Wikipedia founder Jimmy Wales defines his website as a freely licensed encyclopedia by thousands of volunteers in many languages. It is written using wiki software. This means that anyone can join the group and edit material in the online encyclopedia.
Wikipedia was initially considered a feeder project for Nupedia, a different free online encyclopedia also started by Jimmy Wales. He and Larry Sanger, an expert encyclopedia writer, started the Nupedia project, but because of differing opinions, Wales started working on the Wikipedia site with web designers and encyclopedia writers Tim Schell and Michael E. Davis. Wikipedia quickly surpassed the original project because the Nupedia could not get more than 12 articles out over the course of a year. The use of wiki apps, which permitted multiple people to create, edit, and review articles, allowed Wikipedia to be up and running in no time. Wikipedia is designed to make information easily accessible to the public. One of its main goals is to give people freedom to make information their own. The plan was for Wikipedia to feature expert-written, peer-reviewed content. They accomplished this goal by using wiki software on the internet. Similar to WikiLeaks, Wikipedia uses this software so that people are able to give information to the site. Wiki software allows users to submit information from anywhere to the online encyclopedia. The final product of all the information is displayed on its own web page and is often the very first link that appears after a Google search of the subject. This way they meet both of their goals.
That's my job in the community, to say we won't allow our openness and freedom to undermine the quality of the content. And so as long as people trust me in my role, then that's a valid place for me. Of course, because of the free licensing, if I do a bad job, the volunteers are more than happy to take and leave. I can't tell anyone what to do.
Methods of media activism include publishing news on websites, creating video and audio investigations, spreading information about protests, and organizing campaigns relating to media and communication policies. Media activism can be used for many different purposes. It is often employed by grassroots activists and anarchists to spread information not available via mainstream media, or to share censored news stories. Certain forms of politically motivated hacking and net-based campaigns are also considered media activism. Often the focus of media activism is to change policies relating to media and communications.
So the big question when you've got this really chaotic organization is, why isn't it all rubbish? Why is the website as good as it is? First of all, how good is it? Well, it's pretty good. It isn't perfect, but it's much, much better than you would expect given our completely chaotic model. So when you saw him make a ridiculous edit to the page about me, you think, well, this is obviously just going to degenerate into rubbish. But when we've seen quality tests, and there haven't been enough of these yet, and I'm really encouraging people to do more, comparing Wikipedia to traditional things, we win hands down.
A majority of Wikipedia, I would say, is true just from past experiences, but that's all based on if you look at everything and you say, oh, is everything true? Obviously not everything's true. But when you look at one topic that you're interested in and then you look at other sources of information and you put it together and you compare, that's how you find out how individual things are true. So when people say as a group, is Wikipedia true? Well, you can't say that because only individual things on Wikipedia can be compared to each other. You can't compare the whole Wikipedia itself to the whole entire outside world. You can only compare the insights and the little individual things that come along with it to the little individual things that come along with the rest of the internet. I think it's freedom of press. You can add in whatever you want, but I think in the long run, it doesn't. I mean, there's a certain point where when you're the reader, you have to know and you have to look up other sources to understand that it's true. You can't just be dependent. You shouldn't be dependent on Wikipedia. If if you're looking at something as simple as a movie, your friends aren't going to care if you got the movie wrong. First of all, they're going to make fun of you if you read on Wikipedia. I've experienced that. But they're not going to flip out on you because of it. But if you're looking at something on a test or something, then your chances, just the chance of it could not being true, the chance of it not being true are just not even worth. It's not even worth it because you're going to have to go to other source just to make sure the Wikipedia source is true. So you might as well just use that other source as an indicator because it's better availability and you're better off doing that.
I think Wikipedia is a great place to start. It is democratic. It's got tons of information. It can lead to real sources, because I don't think Wikipedia, I mean, I disallow it as a term in terms of a source for an academic paper. Certainly part of the research process. It's totally allowable, because it doesn't pass the reliability test, because it's not, the information isn't vetted, it isn't screened, it isn't, anybody can put anything up. It might be accurate, but you don't know for sure. So that's my take on Wikipedia. I use it all the time. I will say this, that I don't feel like I've ever run across information I knew to be wrong or false. Not that I'm a great, I would use it, exhaustively, but in my personal experience, I never seen it off base.